Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over 15 more cars that you probably have never heard of. We did this like a couple days ago, and first of all, it was good, doing good in views. You guys seem to like it, so that's obviously good. But I also got a couple of comments from other people that were like, great list, Mark, here are my options. And I was like, you know what? Some of these cars I've never heard of. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of these cars I either haven't heard of before myself, or have heard of like once or twice and was like, that's cool, then forgot about it. So I was like, that's a great idea. Let's make some more with comment recommendations. So in the future, if this video does good, we'll do another video. And so leave your recommendations for cars that you think the rest of the car community has never heard of down below. Now, I will say really quickly, I did see some people saying things like, like the Mazda Unos Cosmo. Like, I feel like at this point everybody's kind of heard of that car, and so that's why I didn't include it in my list. And so there's not a 100% chance that just because you leave a comment I'm going to include your car in the next one, because again, there are some cars that I personally think the car community does know nowadays, even though it is still like a little bit slept on, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to go with cars that are literally like unheard of, like no one talks about them, and that's kind of the whole point. And let me see here, I had something else to say here. Oh yeah, song of the day is called Cigarette Daydreams by Cage the Elephant. You guys probably already heard this song, but it's such a good song, man. It is so good. Such a classic. Also, I want to make something abundantly clear before we get into it. Like I said, most of these cars I've never heard of before today, so I don't have much to say about them besides how I think they look, because I don't know too much about these cars, because I didn't know about them, you know what I mean? I don't know the first thing about them, so I just think they look cool. I'm not saying that they're actually great cars in terms of performance or anything like that. I just think that they're good looking cars. But without further ado, let's get right into it with number 15. And that, my friends, is going to the wonderful Alfa Romeo GT V6. This is a car that I have seen before. I've definitely seen it, but I never knew its name. As a matter of fact, there's actually a decent amount of Alfa Romeos that I think are pretty slept on cars, honestly. I included an Alfa Romeo in my last video, and I got a bunch of comments of people being like, it was the Alfa Romeo SC. People were like, yeah, the SC is a good car, but dude, you should think about this car. You should think about this one. And so I included a couple of those in today's video, and this is one of them. The GT V6 is some nice retro, like 80s Alfa Romeo that was apparently pretty good at rally racing back in its day, but it has this like almost Lancia style, like, you know, the Lancia Delta. It kind of like reminds me of that car in a little bit, but in a much more like slick, and it's kind of like, okay, think of the Alfa Romeo, or not the Lancia Delta, and then the Lancia, what is it, Delta S2, what is it, that weird one, the other hatchback one. It's like a mixture between those two, and it looks really good. Coming in at 14th place is another one of those cars where it's like, I've seen it before, but I always forget about it. The Cadillac XLR-V. This is, dude, the regular Cadillac XLR is already pretty cool, but then the V came with a freaking LS. Like, that's just awesome. This thing is a rear-wheel drive LS powered. It's pretty much a rebadged Corvette, and I think it was made around the same time the C5 was made, if I had to guess. So I think it's like a rebadged C5 Corvette. It could be a C6 though, right around that time period, but with like obviously much more like comfortable, nice luxury features, because it is a Cadillac version of the car. And that's just awesome, and nobody really ever talks about these. Even like the old heads that like would like these cars don't talk about them, which is mind-blowing to me. I guarantee it's because it's like, why buy this when you could just buy the Corvette? It's going to be more reliable, and it looks a little bit better, to be honest. But I don't know, I think it's a really cool car. Alright, coming in at 13th place is a car that I have heard of multiple times before. I know actually a pretty decent amount about this car, and I really like this car. I've actually probably even talked about it in videos before. The Audi S8 D2. I just feel like most people still, though, don't really know about these cars. Audi in general as a brand is kind of underrated. Like, people don't really talk about Audi as a brand. They talk about like the S4s and the S3s, and that's about it. When it gets to like the S8s, RS7s, things like that, they're not even that talked about. And then when you get to like the 90s cars of those, they're even less. Like nowadays, yeah, sure, you got some modern like RS7s, people are talking about them, RS6 Avants, people are talking about them, but like the 90s S8s and stuff like that, no one talks about them. And this thing is really cool. It's pretty much like, you know, the E38s, the BMW E38s, the 740 ILs, you know, the LS400s, the S-classes of the 90s. It's Audi's answer to all those cars, and I think it's nice. Oh, also, I want to make this abundantly clear. This video is not ranking them based on, like, which ones are actually better. You know what I mean? So it's not like first place is like the best car of this list. It's just the one that I think is the most underrated or unknown car of the list. Okay, so like we're going in ascending order. Like, I think this one, the Nissan Stagea Autech 260 RS, is going to be a car that some people have heard of before. I just think it's going to be a very, very small number of people, but there have been people that have heard of it before. However, first place on this list is a car that I feel like literally nobody like ever talks about. Either way, the Nissan Stagea is a wagon Skyline, pretty much. A lot of people think it's a wagon GTR. That's not the case. It did not come with a RB26 det, but it does come with RB motors, and it is a really good car. Rear-wheel drive, looks awesome. Now, every single video you see of a Nissan Stagea, it has a GTR front clip. That is not what the car looks like stock. It looks completely different, but it's still a good looking car even when it is stock. Coming in at 11th place, however, ooh, you know what a car I just thought of actually? After thinking about JDM wagons, they don't have to be in the next one. The Mitsubishi Legnum. That's a nice car too. Either way, 11th place, barely missing out in the top 10, is the Volvo S80 V8. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds. It's a V8 powered Volvo. It's pretty cool, man. There's not a lot of people like it was of all the cars on this list, this was like the hardest one to find like a cool video of it, like a cinematic video of it. Not a lot of people, sorry, goodness gracious, oh, big yawn. Not a lot of people modify these cars. Volvos in general obviously have a very, very strong lineup of underrated cars in my opinion, but this one in particular is like I knew about the S60s, I knew about the Volvo 240s, obviously I knew about the V70s, I knew about a lot of Volvos, but the S80 always slipped my memory. I never knew of this car. Looking it up, it has an awesome engine. Now, looks-wise, I don't think it's like the coolest looking car, kind of just looks like a grandma car, but a freaking Volvo with a V8, man, count me in. Breaking its way into the top 10, because this one really depends on if you play video games or not. It is going to the Porsche 914-6, and the reason why I say that is because in real life you will probably never see these cars. These cars are actually very rare. There's not a lot of them out there, and on top of that, not a lot of people, the ones that are out there, not a lot of people want to buy them, because if they're going to buy a Porsche, they want to buy a real Porsche, and this is just like a weird different version of that. But in video games, for some reason, this car is always in them. The 914-6 is always in video games for some reason. It's just like they feel like they have to add them, I feel like. And so if you play video games, you probably heard of this car, but it's pretty much just a super lightweight go-kart version of like a Porsche. And Porsches are already obviously really good handling go-kart track-oriented cars, and this is even smaller Miata version of a Porsche. Coming in at 9th place is another comment recommended. Most of these are comment recommended. The only ones that we've gone over so far that I just thought of myself was the Audi S8 D2 and the Porsche 914, the one we just talked about. But either way, 9th place is a comment recommended car. My mom's vacuuming upstairs. I really hope you guys can't hear that. I don't think you could, but if you can, I really apologize. Either way, 9th place is the Opel Monza GSE. Dude, this thing is another classic 80s just beast. Like, this is screams 80s retro styling. It reminds me a lot actually of like the GT80 or A86, my bad, or like the Mark II Supras or Celicas and stuff like that. It reminds me a lot of those cars. It just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, especially if you're into like rally racing. This looks like a rally style car. It's cool, man. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Opel in general, but this thing is sick. And coming in at 8th place is one that I'm honestly, like, after seeing it, I looked it up to see how much they were because I kind of wanted to buy one. The Nissan Laurel Club S C35. So last video, we actually talked about the C33 Laurel, and I was talking about how, like, forgotten that car is. But that's the most popular version of the Laurel. There are other Laurels that are even more underrated and unknown than the C33. And the C33 is already a car that I think is like very, very slept on. This thing is freaking awesome. I don't know anything about it. I literally couldn't tell you the first thing about the C35 Laurel. I know it's rear-wheel drive and a sedan, and it's Japanese, and that's all I know. If I had to guess, I would guess that it probably has around the same engine that the 300ZXs have, because a lot of the at this time period, that's what they were putting in like every car, or maybe even a VQ35. I don't know, but if but I don't know. It's just a cool looking car, and I like it. Guys, I'm sorry, my dogs were just barking during that last one too. Now it's just like I don't think it's actually humanly possible for me to start a video and not have every single human being around me start doing all their daily tasks. They were sitting down all day just on their phones playing their games, and then the second I start recording, it just happens, man. It's not like they're doing it on purpose. They just don't know. It's just unlucky. I get unlucky with it all the time. Either way, the 7th place is the Lexus SC430. The Lexus SC300 and 400s I talk about all the time on my channel. It's the Z30 Soarers, but these ones I never talk about, and I really don't know why, if I'm being honest. Well, I kind of do know why. It's the looks. I really don't care too much for the looks of these cars, but there are definitely going to be people out there that do like the looks of them. They might grow on you or something. They were in Midnight Club 3 Double Edition Remix, and that's what kind of got me started on these cars. But yeah, they're good cars. They're pretty much just better versions of the SC400, if you want me to be brutally honest with you. Coming in at 6th place, however, is another car that I've literally never heard of before seeing the comments yesterday. One guy, by the way, yesterday in the comment section left like 10 cars, and they're like all in this list. So thank you to that guy, whoever left that comment, because like all the cars you recommended were good options. Coming in at 6th place is the Renault Safrane Biturbo. Never have ever heard of this car, but God, it looks awesome. This looks exactly like the type of car that I would like to own one day. It's like a clear, like, tuners 2000s 90s, and it says Biturbo in it. Again, I don't know much about this car, but I know what Biturbo means. The thing's twin turbocharged. If I had to guess, it looks like a front wheel drive car, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's rear wheel drive. You know, it's possible. I just don't know Renault as a rear wheel drive brand, though. They're mainly known for their front wheel drive stuff, so it's probably front wheel drive, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but either way, this thing is freaking sick. I like it. I'm a big fan of it now. Coming in at 5th place, another one from that same guy that was leaving comments below. The Nissan Primera Camino P11. Whenever I think of Camino, I think of the Chevrolet El Camino, which is also a very slept-on car, by the way. I should have included that today. Maybe I'll do that next video. But either way, this thing couldn't be further from that car. It's a very, very small sedan, front-wheel drive Nissan sedan thing that we never got in the States. I'm going to have to make a video on cars that are super cool that we never got in the States, by the way, because there are so many of them. Like, this thing is sick. It's so cool. I don't know anything. I know it's front wheel drive. I know that. I know they used it in the BTCC, which is obviously pretty awesome. I love the cars from that era. And I know that this car comes with an SR20DE, not an SR20 Det, but an SR20DE, which is still pretty good. And it's just again, it's just one of those cars where it's like, I would love to just drive it. I just want to drive this thing. Coming in at 4th place is a car that I've seen actually on the internet, but I never realized what it was until I saw a comment on the video yesterday of somebody being like, yeah, do you know what this car is? It's called the Kimera EVO37, and what it is it's a full resto mod on the Lancia, what is it? Lancia 37. I know it has 37 in there because that's why why it's called the EVO37, but I don't remember what it exactly is called. Either way, it's like one of my favorite launches. The car is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a resto mod on that, making it obviously more modern, but restoring the original body, keeping it looking really cool, and it is freaking awesome. It is exactly what you want. Is it Lancia Stratos 37? Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. I'm gonna drive it. It's drawing a blank here. I'll look it up after I stop recording. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. It's a great homage to the original rally car too. I love it. Coming in at 3rd place, by the way, the car is literally just called the Lancia 037. I don't know how I forgot that, but either way, coming in at 3rd place is the Alfa Romeo 147 GTA. Like I said, man, there's 2 Alfa Romeos today because a lot of people were commenting like, oh, if you think that Alfa Romeo is cool, you should look at this one. This is cool. I'm not a big hatchback guy. You guys know that. I've never been a big hatchback guy, but something about this car looks freaking awesome. It has like super wide fenders and quarter panels that makes the car look like almost like a touring car out of factory. Like, it looks good stock in terms of its, like, you know, fenders and stuff like that. Like, it looks wide, and obviously whenever I see a car that looks wide, it always gives off like aggressive vibes. This thing is sick. The headlights, the front clip of the car is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not the biggest fan of the taillights and the rear end of the car, but it's not bad, and I guarantee somebody in the comments is gonna let me know, like, this car has like a great engine too. It's probably got like a 1.8T Volkswagen motor, since Volkswagen seems to have that engine in every single brand. Coming in at 2nd place, however, is another one of the cars where immediately after looking it up, finding out what it was, I went and looked at how much it was worth, because I love these things now. The Nissan Leopard Ultima F31. It is very similar, in my opinion, to the Nissan Laurel Club S C35 that we just talked about earlier. It's another rear-wheel drive JDM sedan that's, in my opinion, a pretty cool looking car. I think... Okay, so you know how obviously like the Toyota Chasers and everything like that were very popular, and everybody likes the Chasers and everything. Well, these cars are like, I don't know how to word this, but it's like there are so many other JDM like sedans that are rear-wheel drive too that like just don't get the praise, and it really drives me nuts. This car reminds me a lot of like the Z20 Soar that we talked about last episode, where it's like it's got that nice 80s retro styling, but it's simple. It's just a simple classic like coupe that just God, I would love to own one of these, man. I don't know how else to say it, but I would love to own one of these. All right, honorable mention, because it ain't a Mark Roden video without at least one BMW in it, so I had to include a BMW, although I do think that this BMW is probably one of the most well-known cars on this list. It's the BMW 135i E82. It is pretty much just a smaller, shorter wheelbase, lighter weight version of the 335i E92 that everybody loves. I feel like just nobody really talks about it. I do think people know that this car exists, because it is a 1 Series BMW, and BMW is just a very popular brand in the car community, but I do think that it's more slept on than a lot of the other cars from BMW. But coming in at 1st place, in my opinion, a car that even the freaking old heads, like, obviously this car. It's called the Chevy Corvair, and obviously this car is it's going to be the most popular in the old heads dad community that likes to drag racing, likes the classic muscle cars stuff, because that's what it is. But even in that community, I feel like nobody talks about this car. Obviously everybody loves the Chargers, the Challengers, the Plymouths, the Pontiacs, and they love all the cars. But when it comes to like the Chevy Corvair, I feel like nobody talks about this thing, and I freaking love it. I love everything about this car. It is so gorgeous looking to me. It has like the most perfect, incredible body lines of all time. And I get that apparently after looking these cars up, apparently they were prone for failure. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had some major problem with it. I can't remember exactly what it was. And that's kind of the reason why I kind of got lost to time. But dude, there are so many cars nowadays that are 60s cars that you're going to buy them and they're going to have a major problem anyways, because they're freaking, what, 60 years old at this point? So it's like, might as well buy the Corvair, man. It's a freaking beauty. I love this thing. I want one so bad. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of 15 more cars that you've probably never heard of in the car community. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos that you see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias and any of that great mumbo jumbo. And yeah, let me know some comments below on other cars that you guys think I should include in the next one, if I do end up making a next one, because dude, I'm gonna be honest, the vast majority, like probably 10 out of 15 of these cars were gotten from the comment section last time. And I was like, some of these cars I've never even heard of before in my life, and I'm now like a massive fan of them, like the F31 Leopard, the C35 Laurel, the P11 Primera. Like those cars are literally, the Renault Safrane, that thing was awesome. The Opel Monza, that thing was super cool. The Alfa Romeo V6, that thing was awesome. The Alfa Romeo 147 GTA, the Kimera EVO37. Like, dude, there were so many cars in this list that I was like, oh my god, that thing is gorgeous. How have I never heard of that before? So I would love to see more of those. If you guys have any recommendations, even if I don't make a video, I would like to see comments on it, just so I can like learn about more cars. It would be cool to learn about cars that like nobody really talks about. And because like, dude, I'm going to my friend Zach's shop after I'm done filming this video to edit the video and just like hang out with them and stuff. And I'm going to bring up these cars. So I'm bringing up the C35 Laurel, because I guarantee they've never heard of that car before. It's a freaking beauty car. There's so many, there's like, I guess next video we're gonna have to do the C34 Laurel now, because we talked about the C33, talked about the C35, we gotta do the C34 now. There's also another car out there I wanted to do. Is it the F30 Leopard? It's the one right after the F31, so probably F32 is what I would have to guess. But it looks weird, and it's called the Infiniti i30 over here in the States. It is such a weird looking car, but I love it. I love everything about it. Anyways, that is the end of today's video though. We're definitely gonna have to do some more of these in the future though. That was fun. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.